Hey guys, I'm coming to you live from La Meseta. It is hot and it's just endless fields of gold. I'll show you guys in a second, but 61 days of walking from France all the way through Spain to Santiago de Compostela because I felt a calling from God and I'm so happy to be here. There are good days and bad days, as you guys know if you've been watching me. But if not, my name is Daniel Sanchez, and I have walked over 1,000 miles in the last 61 days, which is crazy to say. This morning I left Burgos, and it's supposed to be 4 days of a possible heat wave through what you guys are looking at right now, known as the Meseta. It's this flat part of Spain that's just filled with golden fields. Check this out. These are my surroundings. Golden fields. Some pilgrims. What's up, guys? Windmills all around. That's a town down there. Maybe I'll stay there. I'm not sure yet. Look at this. Just straight golden fields all over. And I have a beautiful story for you guys today. This morning, I was walking by myself, walked into some pilgrims I knew, some pilgrims I'd seen before, and I had coffee with a lady and just started talking about Jesus. And that was a great moment. And one thing that we agreed on is that we love about the way and the Camino is that sometimes the most mundane things, the most day-to-day normal activities can be divine. And in that moment, I was going to sit by myself and read the Bible and drink coffee. And unfortunately, I'm on the part of Exodus where I have to read all of the instructions of how to build a tabernacle. But instead, I saw this person. I'd recognized her face, this old lady, and I felt like I need to sit with her. So I got my coffee and my croissant, and I asked if I could join her, and we started talking. We ended up talking about Jesus, and we felt the spirit there, and she says, I can see in your eyes that you are very blessed. And she just started talking to me about stuff like that, and we then ended up talking about Mary Magdalene and a certain gospel that's not included in the Bible, but some people accept, some people reject, and says some different things. I'm not really sure what to believe about that. There's a lot of things in this world that I don't know. And I have to be okay with just trusting the Lord, even though I don't know. So after I met her, I felt really, really good, but I also wanted to just pray to the Lord a lot. So I prayed and I prayed and I prayed until I got to these golden fields, and I ended up walking with an Argentinian older lady that I had met many days ago. I seem to walk a lot with old ladies, but I don't know, maybe I just get along with them better than non-older ladies. Anywho, this is the beautiful story I want to tell you. Maybe a week or two ago, Blandine, a French girl who I met just before crossing into Spain, was a servant of our God, and she would walk around with a staff that she made, and it had a bunch of ribbons around it, and those ribbons were Bible verses. And she would give these Bible verses to people that she felt on the way maybe needed to hear them or needed to read them. And it was usually people that were important on the way. And I remember one night, I invited all the pilgrims to dinner, and I invited her to come along with me. She's one of the pilgrims, I don't know if I explained it in those videos, that is doing this way with no food and no money. And so she just has a tent, and she asks people if she can stay on their property, and she'll go to bakeries at the end of the day and ask them if they have any food left over. And God has provided for her ever since she left Le Puy more than a month ago. But when I rested in Pamplona, she, Julian, all my French friends, they went ahead, so I lost them. And I haven't been able to see them again. And since she thought maybe I won't see him again, I'm going to leave him a Bible verse. So she left me a Bible verse about a week ago here at this red cross. This one right here. She sent me a picture. She said, look for a red cross after Burgos. There's going to be a bench next to it. I'm going to tie a Bible verse to it, and it's for you. So we're going to go over there now, untie the Bible verse, which I suppose is still there. We're going to read it and see what God has to tell us today. It's here, guys. I can see it. Whoa! Almost died. Thank you, Jesus. Look right here on this bench overlooking this town. It's tied right here. So I'm going to untie it and let you guys know what it says. Hey guys, so I took a picture of the verse. I'm going to put it up here now. It's in French. but essentially it says 2 Corinthians 5:7, for we walk by faith, not by sight. And I'll read it to you guys in French. I have it here. Nous marchons par la foi, non par la vue. Non par la vue. And it says pour Daniel, which means for Daniel. I think that's beautiful, and I'm definitely going to tie this ribbon onto my staff. And it's funny, after I tied off the ribbon, these two ladies sat next to me. That's why I didn't start filming right away after I tied it off, or untied it. They sat next to me, and they were talking to me just a little bit, just the basic small talk. Where'd you start your walk, this and that. But I was in such a good mood that I said, this is a special place for me. As I look down to the town, I put a picture of that view. I looked down to the town and I said, it's a good day. This is a beautiful moment. I mean, people that I haven't seen in a long time still remember me, and they still send me messages from God. For this morning, I was thinking about how yesterday I had seen some debates on my phone, Christians versus atheists, and the atheists made some good points. Not good points, but like they got me thinking. I don't know the answers, and for a lot of these things, I don't know the answers. And I said, God, please give me the answers, or take these doubts away from me, but don't let me be taken from you. And today, after all these doubts, and also this morning after I talked to that lady in the cafe, and we were kind of having a spiritual moment, she talked to me about Mary Magdalene and her gospel that was lost but not accepted in the Bible, and maybe it should be paid attention to. And so I have all these conflicting things that are trying to tell me, Catholic, Orthodox, non-denominational, this, that. And God's just telling me, walk by faith, Daniel, not by sight. Don't worry about what your eyes see, but remember who is the God you serve, and follow me. I feel so much better now. It's true. I mean, it doesn't matter what we see with our eyes. We walk by faith. Faith that our God is the one true God, and He is alive. And He lives within us, and He helps us. Gosh, I love Him. So I looked down to the town, and they asked if I was staying there. I said, I don't know, maybe I'll go to the next town. Do you know if it's far? And he said, no, it can't be that far. And I looked down, there's only one town and the rest is fields. And I said, well, I don't see it. It can't be that close. But we walk by faith, not by sight. So I think I might go to the next town. Earlier when I said I had watched a debate where an atheist made a quote-unquote good point, what I meant to say is that they raised a question in my mind. Because one of them said, if there's free will, which we believe, right? Because God loves us. And if He didn't love us, He would just make us robots and there would be no sin in the world. But instead He gave us free will, the ability to choose what to do and what not to do. And the atheist said, if there's free will, but God created this universe, that means God could have created multiple universes other than this one, in which case it's not really free will because He chose the one in which we would make those decisions. And this got me thinking a lot. And I already recognize these are not thoughts from God, right? They're not they're good questions. But sometimes I think some of these questions are meant to tear us from God and lead us away from God, to make us think, oh, we're pretty smart, right? And it is a good question. It's a valid question. And I think the more I think about the little notes that Blandines left me on the bench today, which says we walk by faith and not by sight, it means that we don't know everything. We don't trust, we don't prove, we don't have to live by proof, but we live by faith. And I've used this example before. It's like going to a pharmacy and getting the medicine the doctor prescribed you. You don't know what's actually in that medicine. You don't know who made it or where or what's in it or if they made a mistake or not. You just trust, right? You have faith that it's the one the doctor prescribed you and the doctor knows what He's doing and it's going to make you better. And it's the same thing with God. I don't know everything, and I can't know all the answers. So if that atheist came up to me, I would say, look, you and I can both agree that there's free will, right? Yes, okay. And then they would say, but that means that God's not real, because if God was real, he could have created other universes, and then there wouldn't be free will. And I would say, can we both agree that if there is free will, hola. We both agree there is free will, okay? So now the question is whether or not a God can exist in a world where there's free will. My subsequent question would be, is it possible that a God can exist and select the creation of a world in which there would be free will in a way that is unexplainable to us, because our minds simply cannot comprehend the complexity of the situation and the matter? I don't know the answer, but we're talking about a being that exists out of time and has created all things in a verse. It's called universe, one sentence. He created all things. Let there be, and everything was created through Christ. I don't even know how that happens. How can I explain everything else to you? I don't know so many things, but I don't walk by my sight. I don't walk by knowing everything. I walk by faith. And that's what I was trying to get at earlier, but I was being slow about it. And now here under the heat, I'm by myself. I'm having mirages. This is where Don Quixote lost his mind. I don't know if you know him. It's like the most famous Spanish book, piece of literature. And there were big windmills, and he thought they were giants, and he wanted to fight them with his sidekick, Sancho Panza. I'm still waiting on my sidekick, but I'm starting to look at the windmills, and they do look a little bit like giants. Hey! Gigantes! I actually lost my shirt because I was going around shirtless, as you guys saw, and I didn't secure it well to my bag, so I lost it along the way. Ain't no way I'm going back there, and that's okay. It was like a $3 shirt anyway, but it's been with me a long time. Anyway, this is so cool because there's nobody for miles and miles. So I'm gonna do two things. First, I'm gonna try my whistle. That was embarrassing. Come on, Daniel. Better. And now check this out. I'm gonna scream, and nobody's gonna hear me. God! I'm not used to screaming that loud. Hey guys, so I found this little albergue in the middle of the Meseta. There's nothing around here. It's apparently closed. There were some pilgrims there who told me it was closed, and they tried calling and no one's answering. But they have this pool of really cold water here. And I looked up online if you can drink it, and no one says anything about it, but they said that it's supposed to be miraculous foot healing water. So I had my feet in there for a little bit, and it was really cold, and my feet feel great now. But I think a storm is coming upon me now. You guys can see it there, and I have to walk another 5 kilometers. This is so much fun. Oh my gosh.